Alright folks, welcome back to the channel. Pull up a stool, and let's get down to brass tacks about what is happening on the used gun rack right now. We have been on a wild ride these last few years. I am talking about a market that swung from a total famine where you could not find a primer to save your life, to an absolute feast of surplus inventory. Back during the panic, people were throwing cash at anything that could send lead downrange. But the dust has settled. Distributors are stocked up, and manufacturers are rolling out high-tech upgrades that make the gear from 5 years ago look like muskets. Because of that, we are seeing a brutal correction in resale value on some very popular hardware. We are going to break down 10 firearms that have taken a nosedive in value. If you have one in your safe, don't sweat it. If it runs, it runs. But if you are looking to trade or sell, you need to know the numbers. Let's get into it. Number 10. The Heritage Rough Rider. I have a soft spot for the Heritage Rough Rider. It is a .22 long rifle single-action revolver that screams nostalgia. It gave everyone a chance to feel like a cowboy for the price of a tank of gas. During the shortages, people bought these up just to have something fun to shoot. But here is the reality check. Loading a single-action gate loader gets old really fast. You load one, spin the cylinder, load another. Then to unload, you have to poke each empty casing out one by one with the ejector rod. It is tedious. Once the novelty wears off, a lot of folks realize they would rather be shooting a semi-auto or a double-action swing-out cylinder. New ones are selling for dirt cheap, sometimes as low as $100 on sale. So the used market is basically dead. It is a fun range toy, but it holds zero value. Number 9. Smith & Wesson M&P Shield, Gen 1. This one hurts a little because it is a certified legend. When the M&P Shield dropped in 2012, it changed the game for concealed carry. It was slim, reliable, and shot like a much bigger gun. Everyone and their brother had a shield tucked in their waistband. But technology moves fast. The single-stack 9mm is officially obsolete. We are living in the era of the high-capacity micro-compact. Why carry 7 or 8 rounds when you can carry a Shield Plus that holds 13 in the same footprint? Plus, Smith & Wesson fixed that gritty hinged trigger on the new models. The Gen 1 shields are piling up in display cases everywhere. You can snag one used for $240 all day long. It is still a great gun, but the market demands double-digit capacity now. Number 8. The Glock 43. Speaking of capacity issues, let's talk about the Glock 43. Glock fans begged for a single-stack 9mm for years. When it finally arrived, it was huge. It had that classic Glock reliability in a tiny package. But then SIG dropped the P360 and Springfield dropped the Hellcat. Suddenly, 6 rounds in the magazine felt wildly inadequate. Sure, you can add aftermarket base plates, but then the grip gets as long as a Glock 19, defeating the purpose of a deep concealment gun. The Glock 43X and the 48 have completely overshadowed the original 43. Used values have stabilized around $370 to $400. It is a reliable backup, but as a primary carry, it is hard to justify that low round count. Number 7. Springfield XDM Elite. The Springfield XDM Elite is a powerhouse. Out of the box, it has one of the best striker-fired triggers on the market. It is accurate, ergonomic, and holds a ton of ammo. It is a duty-ready pistol through and through. So why is the value tanking? Simple. Springfield cannibalized their own sales with the release of the Echelon. The Echelon uses a modular chassis system similar to the SIG P320. It sits lower in the hand, has better optic mounting options, and ditched the grip safety that was a deal-breaker for some shooters. The Echelon is the future of Springfield, which makes the XDM line feel like legacy tech. You can find these gently used for $380 to $420. That is a lot of gun for the money, but it is yesterday's news. Number 6. Kel-Tec Sub-2000 Gen 2. The Kel-Tec Sub-2000 is pure innovation. A 9mm carbine that folds in half and takes Glock mags? That is a prepper's dream. It fits in a backpack, a truck console, or a gym bag. But the Gen 2 had a major flaw. To fold it, you couldn't have an optic mounted on top. You had to use expensive flipping mounts that were a pain to zero. The new Gen 3 fixed that with a twisting forend that lets you keep your red dot attached. Combine that with the Smith & Wesson FPC hitting the market, which shoots softer and folds easier, and the Gen 2 is in a tough spot. Also, let's be honest, the recoil on that straight blowback action feels like getting punched in the cheekbone. Used models are lingering on shelves for $350 to $400. Number 5. Ruger AR-556. For a decade, if someone asked me what their first AR-15 should be, I said get a Ruger AR-556. It is rugged, backed by great customer service, and it works. But the AR world has evolved. The Ruger comes with a fixed front sight post, a non-free floated barrel, and a plastic drop-in handguard. That is old-school tech. Nowadays, companies like Palmetto State Armory are offering rifles with free-float M-lock rails, better gas systems, and modern furniture for the same price or less. Shooters want modularity right out of the box. They want to mount lights and lasers without bolting on extra rails. The Ruger is a tank, but it's a tank from a different era. Used prices are hovering around $500. Number 4. The Mossberg Patriot. Mossberg makes the best pump shotgun on the planet, the 590A1, but their bolt-action rifle, the Patriot, has struggled to find its footing. It was designed to be an affordable deer rifle, and it looks sharp with that spiral fluted bolt. However, the bolt throw feels a bit sloppy compared to the competition. The stock is very basic and flexes under load. With the release of the Ruger American Gen 2, which offers better magazines and suppressor-ready barrels, the Patriot feels left behind. Hunters are upgrading to rifles that offer sub-MOA precision and better ergonomics. If you are trying to sell a used Patriot in .30-06 or .270, expect to see offers around $340. Number 3. The Taurus Judge. The Taurus Judge is a marketing masterpiece, a revolver that shoots 45 long Colt and 410 shotgun shells. It was sold as the ultimate carjacking defense gun, and people bought millions of them. But ballistics don't lie. When you fire a 410 shot shell out of a 3-inch rifled barrel, the pattern spreads out almost instantly. At 7 yards, you might miss the target entirely with half your pellets, and 410 birdshot does not have enough penetration to reliably stop a threat. It is a massive, heavy firearm with limited capacity and snappy recoil. It is fun to blow up watermelons with, but serious defensive shooters have moved on to high-capacity 9mm. The used market is flooded with these, driving prices down to the $350 to $400 range. Number 2. CZ Scorpion Evo 3. This one is a tragedy. The CZ Scorpion was the king of the pistol caliber carbines. It had the looks, the cheap mags, and the aftermarket support. It was the heir to the MP5 throne for the civilian market. Two things killed its value. First, CZ released the 3 Plus model with better ergonomics, making the older S1 and S2 feel blocky. Second, and more importantly, the internet exploded with reports of soft bolts causing out-of-battery detonations. It is a rare issue, but it scared the community. People don't want to buy a gun that might need a $300 aftermarket bolt just to be safe. Combine that with stiff competition from the roller-delayed Grand Power Strybog, and the Scorpion's value has crashed. Used setups that used to command premium prices are struggling to sell for $800 to $1,000. Number 1. The Marlin 1895. And finally, the number 1 heartbreaker, the Marlin 1895 in 4570 Government. Thanks to movies like Jurassic World and Wind River, tactical lever actions exploded in popularity. Prices went to the moon. But here is the catch. During the chaos, Marlin was owned by the Remington Outdoor Group. Those rifles, known as Remlins, were plagued with fit and finish issues. Canted sights, rough actions, you name it. Now that Ruger owns Marlin, they are producing some of the finest lever guns ever made. Nobody wants to pay collector prices for a sketchy Remlin when they can buy a brand new Ruger-made Marlin that runs like a Swiss watch. Plus, 4570 ammo is costing $3 to $4 a trigger pull. That rifle usually ends up being a safe queen after 1 box of ammo. Prices on the used market have corrected hard, settling around $1,100. So there you have it. 10 firearms that have seen a major market correction. Like I said before, if you own one of these and you love it, keep shooting it. The value of a gun is in how well you can use it, not what a blue book says. But if you are playing the trade game, you need to be smart. Drop a comment down below. Have you taken a loss on any of these? Or maybe you snagged one for a steal? I want to hear about it. Smash that like button if you learned something, and make sure you are subscribed to the channel for more straight talk on gear. Stay safe and keep your powder dry.